Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to stay here with you. This is the final presentation for CIT260. My name is Namrod Waida, and we are going to explain in this video some insights we learned during the course. The first principle we are going to explain is about a static class variable. Static class members are class level and can be accessed directly without any instance. This is particularly interesting because you can use a static variable when you need that variable doesn't change. And there is another characteristic more important, is that the memory defined for a static variable is created only once per class. For example, we can see in this class that the land base, land range, people per acre, bushels per person, and all the other variables are static, and they have a value that we want that they don't change during the game. There is also the non-static variables. To call a non-static method, we need to use an object. Well, but what is a non-static instance or variable? Well, they are specific to objects. In this case, we are going to use in this list menu view, or we are creating in this part the object. We are calling this from this variable down. Why we use a class, a static class and a non-static variable? Well, it's simple, as I said before. If I want that the variable remains all the game the same, well, a static variable is the best option. And if not, well, you can choose the non-static variable, and you need to create the object every time you are going to use. Okay, we are going to see an example about arrays. Well, an array is used to store a fixed set of elements. It's the same than an array list, but in this case, an array list is not fixed. It means that you can add more lists, more items, more objects in this case. But there is a big difference here. In an array, all the elements must be the same. But in an array list, all elements must be an object. Another difference is that an array can hold primitive data, but in an array list, you cannot put primitive data. Well, in this case, both an array list and arrays, they are addressed by an index. What is an index? It's the number they are assigned within the array or within the list. In this case, the first index in an array is the number 0 and not the number 1. There is a difference also with an enum. When an enum is a fixed size list of constant values, but you can never change it. It means that you need to create the enum with what you want to create in all the game or in all the code, and they are not referenced by index. For example, This is an array. Why we choose an array in this part? Because our goal in this part was that I needed a 5 times 5 array to store the locations for the map. So because all are of the same time, we decided, or I choose in this case to use an array. And why not an enum or an array list? Well, in this case, an enum because well, I needed to reference by index, and I didn't choose an array list because I didn't use an object. I just use some primitive variables to store it. That's the reason. Okay, let's see about the for and the for each. Those they are used to navigate through each element in an array. They have almost the same characteristics, but the for each has a plus because it's easier to code and guarantees that you will never get the array index out of bound exception. But what is that? It's an error that you can or you will get when you don't put the exact number of array list. In this case, for example, I said that the index started with 0, but if my array is 5 times 5, it means that I have my first row and column will be 0.0 and not 1.1. And remember, remember this part. Never forget that the first index of an array is always 0, and the last index of the array is always the length of the array minus 1. So why I choose for each in this part? Because I needed to navigate for all the tools hidden in this part. And why I choose a for in this part? It's because I didn't need to navigate for all the array. I just needed to navigate for some specific parts. In this case, I navigate from, well, I wanted this output, so I started with 0.0 and I finished in the column 0.1. I used 2 rows in the column 0, and the same with the other parts. Well, when you are coding, when you are doing your work, you will notice that not all your game or not all your code is working properly. So a runtime error occurs when the computer detects an operation that it's impossible for it to carry out while executing your program. What happened with an exception is not handled by your program? Well, the program will terminate abnormally. It will finish. But what is an exception? Well, in an exception, you put some information that it's a way that you prevent that an error occur. Let's see this code. For example, in the cell land view, we have two requisites. We have two things that we must have in order to do this method. Is that the accuracy to sell needs to be positive, and the accuracy to sell must be greater than the accuracy owned, because we cannot sell something we don't have. So in this case, I use a try and a catch exception. Well, what I try to use this method. In this case, I'm going to use this number 100, 1,200 acres I want to sell. This is a big number, so I'm going to receive my catch, my crop exception, because my code doesn't, or it couldn't process what I wanted to do. And this is the message I received. I'm sorry, master, I cannot do this. There is an insufficient accuracy. If you see this is the first part when enters to my catch, and I reference to the what is the specific matter what I can do that. Okay, let's see this part by stream and character streams. Character stream. Well, a byfile stream reads and writes binary data, but it is not useful because, or it is useful when you are going to store ASCII data, but almost all the languages are written in Unicode format. So character streams allow you to read and write character data regardless of the format the data, and it also supports characters in both ASCII and Unicode format. Why? In this case, I'm using the print writer class to print reports. The print writer allows to use the print, printl, and print methods, and they make it easy to output and format text such as shown in the report below. As you can see, I'm trying to output my animal inventory. That's what I'm going to reach after do that. But let's demonstrate the game. This is actually this is the game. We are going to run it, and well, to start, I'm going to start a new game. So I choose the number 1 option. My name is Max, so I'm going to put my name, and I'm in the game menu. Okay, I want to see the view map. As you can see, here is the map. And I have the game menu option again with me. I want to see the display print list. I'm going to do that. And I'm in the print list. Well, I want to see the animals in the storehouse, the code we reviewed some minutes ago. And I can see the animal inventory report. Well, I want to save the animal list. I'm going to save it. I'm going to put anim. So we are going to see if that is put it in my game archive, and it is anim, and it is saved. So thank you for watching this video. I hope that you will enjoy this video, and see you soon.